What's going on, MSFers? Duelam here, and today we're going to be talking about a lot of miscellaneous stuff. We're going to be talking about Cosmic Villain and some new options that are coming out now that Blastar and Azazel are in the game. We're also going to be talking about a counter to an arena team that a lot of people have been seeing have trouble with. We're also going to be talking about a Sinister Six update because of Shocker being reworked, and also some accidental rework to Mysterio, but maybe on purpose. I'm not sure, or maybe it's coming in the future, hopefully, because Mysterio rocks. All right, let's talk about it. So Professor X, Cosmic Villain, shout out to whoever or however suggested Ravager Stitcher for this section. Use Null, Mephisto, Thanos, Blastar, and Stitcher, and one-shot all nodes, good times. Fully intended to use Shadow King and didn't need him, so you can actually do this without Mephisto as well. Mephisto's very expensive, so I opted not to do him. I did Stitcher, Helverine, actually, Thanos Endgame, Null, and Shadow King, and I was very happy with those picks. They did very, very well. I also had a friend of mine send me this as well, and he was able to do it with Gore, Shadow King, Null, Azazel, and Blastar, and Blastar was even at 4 yellow, 0 red, and was able to survive. He did say he put Healer on Azazel, which you see here, and Healer on Blastar to keep them alive. But I'm actually pretty impressed that Blastar was able to survive the initial barrage, because that was the main issue I was having without Thanos Endgame, was surviving that initial barrage of damage. But it looks like Blastar was able to pull it off, which is pretty awesome. So definitely looking at longer term here. You could probably take out Gore and put in somebody else longer term, like Helverine, who's going to be in the meta a lot longer than Gore will be because he's newer. Or even Thanos Endgame, just because his passive is so impactful. You're going to be using him for a long time. But I think this team is great. I'm not the biggest fan of Azazel because he's primarily a raid character, but he is plug and play with a curse, so I'll give him a little bit of a pass there, but I'm very impressed that this team got through it. Next up, auto start Annihilation rates. Anyone else having problems getting it to auto start? I've been trying to get it work since they added, but it has not been working. I can say our alliance has not had an issue with the auto raid launcher. If you are having any issues, what I would do is contact support and see if they can help you. I know support has been mainly really bad in the past, and a lot of it has been just like auto AI bots responding to you and stuff like that. But we talk with, and we as in the Envoys talk with the guy who is pretty much the head of customer service over there, and he's been doing a lot to revamp the customer service and help out. And he's like, listen, nobody's going to talk to bots anymore. We prioritize things. You can also send things to me as well, and I can help you out. And if you give me your PID, I can help you out and send it to the developers so they can escalate the ticket that you have submitted with customer service as well, so they can help you out a little bit faster. Feel free to message me. My DMs are open. No issues whatsoever. But let me know if you're having issues with the auto start feature for Annihilation raids, because I do want to let the developers know if it is a widespread problem or if it might just be this person in particular. Next up, we got Fantastic Four, Emma Frost, and Odin arena question. There's something I don't understand. This arena team is one I still don't know how to counter. Why does Odin always go first and specials when he's with Fantastic Four, MCU, and Emma Frost? So first of all, he's always going to special. No matter what, he's going to special, right? But the problem is, if you are trying to counter this with your own Fantastic Four, your own Emma Frost to counter their Emma Frost, right? And then it's net zero, technically, but you're still losing speed. Odin is going first because Odin is not affected by Emma Frost. So the problem is Odin still keeps his 128 speed, but everybody else is losing 10% because of Emma. So the entire battlefield is a lot slower, except for Odin. So the way that you're going to do this is you're going to use Fantastic Four. You're going to use Apocalypse. And then obviously, if you have Professor X, amazing. This doesn't look like a Professor X situation here. What I would do is Fantastic Four, APOC to stop their Emma Frost, and then you could do something like Black Cat. But the problem is you're going to be stuck behind the taunts from Mr. Fantastic MCU. So just use another damage dealer. You could use Emma on your side, APOC and Emma, and then what ends up happening is you are not affected by Emma. They are affected by Emma. And then you're going to be winning every single coin flip. And then Odin, he might take a turn, right? But doesn't really matter, honestly, because even if he does take a turn, he's not getting his battlefield effect up because he's not assisting, because everybody on the other side of the field is much slower than him, so he's not going to be assisting before he takes a turn and does his special. So no battlefield effect, does not matter at all, and then you'll win. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. It works pretty well, but yeah, pretty straightforward. The reason why Odin goes first is because he is not affected by Emma Frost's passive, so that is why. Next up, can we get Mega Orbs again? And man, I forgot Mega Orbs were a thing until I read this. I'm not joking. Yeah, what's up with Mega Orbs? Why have we stopped getting these? I would like if Mega Orbs became Mega again, and it would be nice if we had something that, like, the characters went into Mega Orbs maybe a month earlier than they went into bumps to make Mega Orbs actually Mega, or that we actually get Mega Orbs in the game again, because they're just not good at all. I can't remember the last time I even opened up a Mega Orb. And like right now, Hood's featured on here, and they just put in a Cursed in here, right? But like, I can't remember the last time I got a Mega Orb. Like, they're in offers, Dark Dimension 1, 2, 3, all the Dark Dimensions, right? But like, offers. But the problem is Mega Orbs are just not that worth it anymore. But it would be nice if they made them a little bit more worth it and actually gave them to us, so we had something to look forward to when characters were added to the bumps, the basic orbs, Ultimus orbs, Mega Orbs, premium orbs, and then the supply store, so that we could hold for a team that we really wanted to get higher up immediately, like a Cursed. I would have opened 10 Mega Orbs, let's say, right, for a Curse to get them up higher a lot faster. But we don't have that anymore, and I can't remember the last time we were actually given a Mega Orb for free, which is pretty interesting. I'm actually curious if you guys know when the last time we got a Mega Orb for any sort of rewards, and the last time they felt mega, because those orbs used to be really fun. But yeah, I do not remember the last time we got them. All right, next up, we got Sinister Six updates. So Commanders, when Shocker was updated for the Insidious 6 part of his passive, was removed. That added increased damage and armor to Sinister Six characters. We're adding that damage and armor back into the base stats of the following Sinister Six characters. So Mysterio, Doc Ock, Kraven, Green Goblin Classic, Lizard, Spider Slayer, Rhino, and Electro. So this is just kind of what they were doing to solve kits to make them a little bit less clunky and a little bit less convoluted and long, is they were taking out a lot of stuff in passives that added damage and armor, and they just baked them into the kits. So they are baking them into the kits here because they don't want to nerf these characters now that Shocker is no longer going to be no longer has that part of his passive, right? So they wanted to make sure that that armor and the damage is going back into the kits here. Now, we did have a small issue when it comes to the first guy up here, Mysterio, and we had kind of a large update to Mysterio, and this was a no-no. This was something that got pushed, and I'm curious if this is something that's going to end up being part of a rework in the future, maybe with the brand new home, brand new whatever Spider-Man movies coming out that they're filming now, I think, that's slated for next year. Or if Mysterio was originally going to be one of the reworks with like Vulture or with Shocker, I'm assuming with Vulture, and they decided to scrap it, but the data was still there to push. Or third option, it was just a mistake, and they pushed the data for the Shocker update for the damage and the armor, and they updated the health and everything else by accident. But for like 45 minutes, Mysterio was almost at 1.5 million at not gear tier 19, not even gear tier 20. He would have been like 1.6 million at gear tier 20. He would have been an absolute animal. And honestly, I wish they would have kept this, because Mysterio is one of the best members of the team, especially because of his passive here, not allowing people to spawn, get immunity at all. Not just spawn with immunity. They just can't get immunity ever throughout the entire match. And I think he's got one of the most interesting kits, especially with his special. I think it's awesome. Getting 100,000% extra focus in war, ability block, blinds to everybody. Like, I love Mysterio's kit. He's super, super fun and awesome, and I wish he ended up getting the rework, but maybe it's a rework in the future that's going to happen, and they just pushed the data a little bit early, so I would love to see that. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Until next time, this has been Duel 'Em. Later, MSFers.